have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
All right, thank you very much. It is 25 minutes before 8 o'clock and Friday the 13th.
Yep.
For those of you who are interested in superstitious things. So let's before we do the freedom of speech thing I have real quickly, today is a ribbon cutting, and it's over at Pinch a Penny Pool Supplies. If you have a swimming pool, you need supplies. You have to keep that water looking good. Yeah. Nobody wants to go in a green, slimy pool.
No, that's
right?
nasty.
Let's see. The event is this morning at 9 a.m. The ribbon cutting at Pinch a Penny Pool Supplies is at 9 a.m. this morning. You will help them celebrate their official grand opening weekend for Pinch a Penny Pool Supplies with the ribbon cutting. They are located at 3855 East Silver Springs Boulevard here in Ocala.
Yep, 1 block east of 40 East Shopping Center.
If you are a business and you would like to learn more about the Chamber and Economic Partnership so that you can benefit from being a member, as well as perhaps have a ribbon cutting, give them a call at 629-8051. They'll answer whatever questions you have about that.
Yeah, they have ambassadors out there all over the place to come to talk to you about everything. They're wonderful.
All right, so let's talk about the freedom of speech. You have the right in this country to speak freely. We take that for granted, and we all know that there are some exceptions to that. For example, you can be arrested if you're in a movie theater and you start screaming that there's a fire and cause a panic. You could be arrested for that. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. That is the entire text of the First Amendment to the United States Constitution, which gives you that freedom. However, there are other things besides calling out fire, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are on these. First of all, let me tell you a couple of stories. Being fans of Duck Dynasty's Phil Robertson might cost 2 employees of the Elgin, is it Elgin, Robin?
Elgin.
Forgive me if I don't know if it's a hard G or not. Elgin Air Force Base here in Florida, their jobs. If a government union...
I can't remember now.
Has their way. According to the Washington Times, the local chapter of the American Federation of Government Employees wants to have 2 senior managers either fired or otherwise removed from their jobs. The paper says their offense, the newspaper says their offense was having Duck Dynasty, I support Phil, decals on their vehicles. Phil Robertson is the Phil they're referring to. I'm sure you knew that. Phil is one of the Duck Dynasty guys. I guess, is he the dad?
Yeah.
He's the dad?
Yeah, he's the patriarch.
He came under fire in December for making statements in a GQ magazine interview that some found offensive, such as his feelings that homosexuality is a sin. All right. The Washington Times reports that Alan Cooper, the executive vice president of a local chapter of the union, also said one of the employees had the decal in his office and even had extras to give out to fellow employees. Okay. Cooper sent an email to his fellow members saying the decals possibly violate the Civil Rights Act of 1964. We took offense, Cooper said, according to Fox News. These 2 particular individuals have a great amount of influence over individuals who may be gay, who may be African American, and we have a concern they should not be in a position to exert that influence when it comes to promotions. I don't get the African American part there.
No.
Anyway, so they are being targeted to perhaps lose their job.
Yeah, that one, it's hard. I can't agree with that one because that's your own personal vehicle and it's not, you're not pushing it or something like that. And, just I support Phil. It could have a lot of definitions. Most everybody knows, what the definition
Well, it probably
of that
had the guy's picture on it. Probably made it clear.
Oh, okay.
Let's assume.
Yeah, but that's your own personal vehicle. And I think sometimes you shouldn't have, be communistic and really being a dictatorship to say what's on your vehicle or not.
So in looking at other people's opinions on this, I found this essay on a website called democraticunderground.com. And it says the right to free speech guarantees that the government cannot infringe on what you say. But private organizations, they most certainly can, according to the opinion in this piece that I found. Examples of places which can set rules about what types of speech are not allowed are workplaces, stores, restaurants, amusement parks, online forums, etc. Online forums.
No, that's a little bit.
Your employer can further restrict your speech at any location where you are there as a representative of that company. Places where you can say whatever off-color or sexual jokes you want, make whatever racist or sexist comments you want, include personal blogs, books, websites that you own, your own property, and out in public places. And your comedy routines, your songs that you write, or on your Twitter feed. Those are places where you have the right to say whatever you want. All right. So taking this expert and applying him to our guidelines when we were asked to play Christmas songs at Rainbow Springs State Park.
Yeah.
Where they told us we could play, what do you call it, secular Christmas songs. We could sing about Frosty the Snowman, but we couldn't sing about Jesus Christ.
No.
Okay. So we just didn't do it. We just simply didn't do it.
Yeah, we refused because that's not the reason for the season. It's not Santa Claus.
But okay, again, just as in many of these conversations, don't go on a tangent if we can try to not go there.
Okay.
Because this guy says the government cannot infringe upon you. Well, who runs a state park?
It's the government.
The government.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the government.
So why? Why can they say that we can't? We're not saying curse words.
No.
Okay. I mean, we respected them. We didn't show up.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's a book out there called Can You Do That? It was published in 2010. It's written by a guy named Louis Maltby. And I have an excerpt from the book. He writes this: Lynn Goebel was fired because her boss didn't like the bumper sticker on her car. During the 2004 presidential election, Goebel put a Kerry for President sticker on her bumper. When her boss saw it, he said Goebel could either work for John Kerry or work for me.
Oh.
Goebel refused to take the sticker off of her car and was immediately fired. It's the same thing as the Phil Robertson thing, right?
Yeah, same thing.
The United States invented human rights. This is again from the Louis Maltby book titled "Can They Do That?" In America, you can criticize any government official you want, including the president, even in rude or profane terms without fear of punishment. You can do the same thing in China, Russia, Iran, Kenya, or Guatemala, and you could wind up in prison or worse. You can do it, but you'll be...
Exactly,
right.
You're done.
But our freedom disappears when you go to work. The United States Constitution applies to the government, not to corporations. Again, this is another expert saying government cannot infringe upon what you say, although the Constitution says Congress.
Yeah.
Which really limits it, okay? A private business, large or small, can legally ignore your freedom of speech when your employer is concerned you have no such right. Freedom of speech is not the only right that disappears in the world of work. Privacy disappears too. If the government wants to tap your phone or read your email, it needs to have evidence that you are doing something illegal. In most cases, it needs a court order, but employers routinely monitor phone calls, and they can do so legally. Okay?
Okay.
All right, I don't want to read his whole book, but anyway, I just wanted to read that excerpt from his book. And I do want to take some calls on this. Let me just get through my last prepared piece here.
Okay.
So I guess where I'm going with this is simple. There was a story in the news this morning, and this is a side thought. It just came to me. Let's see. A South Florida man was sentenced to 1 day short of a full year in jail after going on a profanity-laced tirade at a Broward County judge. I won't read the whole story to you, but this 28-year-old guy down in South Florida, 27-year-old, he was yelling profane things at the judge, calling him a cracker, by the way, and using the F word and telling him he could do certain sexual acts on him, and you can probably fill in the unsaid parts with your own mind. And the judge had enough of it, and he sentenced him to 1 day short of a full year in jail. Okay. So he obviously did not have freedom of speech in the courtroom, which again is a government entity.
Exactly.
The guy was wrong. The guy was rude. The guy was profane. But still, in America, if in a government, if according to what I've read, government entities cannot infringe on your right to free speech. And yet, this guy is going to be, and the guy was a nutcase, don't get me wrong. I don't blame the judge, but at the same time, I don't think the judge had the right to do that.
Yeah, well, they use that word contempt.
I don't think, they use the word contempt. Exactly.
As the rule of conduct.
But still, how is it contempt if you have the right to say it?
Oh, cool.
How is it contempt if you have the right to say it? And I guess that's all. I don't have any more I want to use from my prepared stuff. I want to hear what you have to say out there, and of course what you have to say, Robin. Good morning. I'll take your call first. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Good morning. This is another interesting topic, Larry.
Hey, Pete. Yeah, I think so too.
I'll address the specific example you brought up about the bumper stickers for Duck Dynasty.
Yeah.
Okay, because you've covered a lot of territory, but I guess it's better to stick to one thing. I disagree with what these union people are trying to do to have these people either fired or remove their bumper stickers. But I think if we look at the larger picture, apparently this is their union, and I guess these people are in management, or is that right? This
right.
Union. And they're after the management people. Apparently,
right.
This union has some kind of thing in their contract where they can file a grievance or whatever. I'm not sure that if it was two of their union brothers that had Karl Marx bumper stickers on their car that they would be filing the grievance, but that doesn't really matter.
But that's a good point.
They're filing a grievance against these two managers, which apparently is part of their contract, and now it's going to go to court. You know, if these people want to fight for their rights, which I think they should fight for their rights, even though I don't really care about the whole Duck Dynasty issue, I just care about people's rights to express their opinion. But you remember the old expression you used to hear when we were kids, don't make a federal case out of it?
Yes.
Remember when people used to say that? Well,
right.
Now everything is a federal case. So the union people have exercised their right under their contract, even though I think, they're wrong. And now it's up to these other people to have to go hire lawyers and everything else if they want to, keep their bumper stickers and keep their jobs. And the way this works in our society today is the people that complain, all they have to do is send a fax, to some news agency and then go down to the courthouse and file a piece of paper. And then the person or the people who are trying to defend their rights have to go hire lawyers and go to court and take time off from work and everything else. So I'm going to turn that over now to your Rainbow Springs thing, you couldn't play the religious Christmas carols. I think if you had chosen to, I guess I could say, be obnoxious, but also to defend your rights, you could have gone to the state board of parks and the governor and whatever else and tried to file some kind of complaint or a writ or get a judge's order. But see, you chose not to do that. And I think in our society, we're going to have to fight for our rights, or they're going to be slowly nibbled away. And I think what's probably going to happen to these two people up there at Elgin Air Force Base is they're going to get tired of it, and they're just either going to, pull their bumper stickers off or whatever. But who's got time to go to court? Who's got money to hire lawyers, which are expensive and blah, 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 blah. So I think I just want to sum up real quick. If we're going to keep our right to free speech, we're going to have to fight for it every day.
Oh, well, that's a really wonderful conclusion. And what comes to mind, do you remember the story about the guy who overspoke his 2 minutes or whatever it was, that guy that got in trouble?
Yeah.
Well, didn't he have the right to speak? I mean, do they have a right to limit your free speech to a time frame? I mean, there's another issue right there.
Yeah, because they're government.
Yeah.
He was speaking in a government
What you
entity.
say, how long you say it, all those things. All right, thank you, Pete. I appreciate your thoughts. I think he's still there. Okay. All right, let me take another call. Good morning. What do you think?
Good morning. Good morning. Well, I have a certain amount of expertise on this. As you know, I'm a postal employee.
Yeah.
Now, when we are on the job as employees of the government, we are not allowed to display anything that's of a political nature on our person or on our vehicle if it's being used in government service. Many postal employees have to use their own car to deliver the mail, and you can't have any kind of political slogan on a vehicle that's delivering the mail because we have to deliver everybody's mail, and we can't be seen to be you can't be in a position where the post office is showing partiality, and I'm assuming that applies to the military service as well. So if it is a government car, he ain't allowed to have the sticker. If it's his personal car, but it gets used on government business occasionally, he ain't allowed to have the sticker.
Okay, but
that's the rule.
But what about the First Amendment? If the First Amendment applies to government agencies, but not to private organizations, which
if the car can be is going to be used for government service, then the political slogan cannot be there.
Right, but according to the First Amendment, there should be no government agency that curtails your free speech. According to the experts, I read from two different expert sources. One guy who wrote a whole book on it. He said government can't, private industry can.
Well, there is a thing called the Hatch Act that applies to employees of the government, and there's a whole bunch of do's and don'ts about political activity. And it used to be extremely restrictive. There was at one time that a government employee was not allowed to be registered in a political party. But there were so many places where if you could not cast a vote in a primary, you effectively had no vote. So that was overturned. But there's still a lot of things within the Hatch Act that tell a government employee what he can and cannot do if it involves political speech.
And last question for you: do you agree with that, though? Does that
No.
not? Okay, you don't agree with
those
it.
are the rules.
Gotcha.
And,
Right.
I took an oath to do my job.
Right.
So I abide by the rules.
Okay. No, I hear what you're saying, but as a constitutional expert yourself, I wondered how.
As a constitutional person, I don't believe the Hatch Act should. The Hatch Act needs to be repealed.
Okay, there you go. All right, thank you, Jim. Some good stuff from you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, and you know what? I wouldn't for 1 minute want to say that we should be allowed to curse or anything like that, or even express, an opinion about religion, and you shouldn't be able to, insult somebody or make fun of their color, their religion, or whatever, anything like that. I don't know, but should you be? Let's see. What would be a penalty for violating the First Amendment, though? Mm-hmm. I mean, or should there be a penalty for freedom of speech when it is found offensive? Good morning. What do you think?
Good morning. I think a lot of the freedom of speech, I always say when it comes to freedom of speech, any type of law, the amount of freedom that you have is directly relative to the amount of money you got in your pocket. I hate to say that.
No, I think you're right.
And I know, I can remember, I always laugh because I laugh, ironically I say. People talk about, how they're being monitored and all kinds of things like that. Well, years ago, 88, 89, I was president of a local branch of NAACP, and it was an ongoing accepted fact that if you were held in the office, anything like that, back from the 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, your phone was you could pretty well tell your phone was monitored. And we used to laugh and say, don't worry about paying your phone bill, because as long as they know that you're involved in these civil rights organizations, they're not going to cut your phone off anyway.
They'll make sure it's still on. It's kind of funny.
But really, I mean, there are so many. When you look at it in the jobs and those types of things, we take for granted. And now with the guy that's in Russia now, I can't think of his name. But anyway, we've always taken for granted many of the things that curtails our freedom of speech that many of us have known for years. It's just that now it's becoming so broad.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Hey, thank you, Lenny. Good thoughts there. Well, I look at it this way. If my boss doesn't want me to talk about certain things, I'm not going to talk about it. I don't mean just on the air. I mean here in the office. Of course, a lot of that has to do with common sense, but there are certain things that you wonder about, especially a decal on your car in the parking lot.
Yeah, your private vehicle.
I mean, that is kind of a weird one,
you're not representing anybody but you.
Now, the article did say he brought the decals in and he was distributing them, so...
Now, that would be an issue.
But again, okay, and in that case, it's an Air Force base, so it is a government agency. So according to these two experts, the guy who wrote the book and the guy who wrote the blog, these guys are supposedly attorneys and experts.
Yeah.
Okay. They say freedom of speech must be enforced in government if it's under the government rule.
No, then
if
wrong.
it's private industry rule, your boss can tell you what you can and cannot say, period.
Yeah.
Okay? So, but Elgin Air Force Base is the U.S. Air Force. Mm-hmm. And they can put out, and what was his bumper sticker for? It was for a Duck Dynasty guy?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And it didn't say much. It just said, Duck Dynasty, I support Phil. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, good morning. What do you think?
Good morning, Larry, Robin. Again, it's, I have to agree with Lenny. Your freedom of speech is equal to, and this is by the Supreme Court, is how much money you have. The more money you have, the more freedom of speech you have. Basically, a person like Bill Gates has got a lot more freedom of speech than I do. So if you want, that's just the way they rule on things today. So any civilization, as soon as you mention civilization, you are giving up a certain amount of your rights for the betterment of the whole. In other words, you keep simple thing like running around nude. And basically, you try that in almost any area, you're being arrested. So your freedoms, you have to give up certain amount of freedoms. And I work for a private entity, a company, that supplied a public service. So, I had a few more extra things that I had to watch what I was doing than, say, somebody that was for a totally different corporation, like a toy manufacturer or oil company. But on those things, I also had other responsibilities. When they told you to come to work, you had to go to work. It didn't matter if there was 5 feet of snow on the ground or what. You provided, you worked for a company that provided a public service. So, the mayor tells you to stay home, you better still get to work. Otherwise, they turned around and say, if you didn't show up for work or at least making a good attempt at it, you weren't going to get paid unless you had doctor's lines. Well, you figure that one out. But like I said, any kind of civilization or any kind of nesting of people, a tribe or whatever, you lose a certain amount of your civil rights or freedoms or whatever you want to call it. But basically, it's for the betterment of others. But we have a government today that is so totally run amok, it's unbelievable. So in that, I'll say we have to all be careful, and we have to take back our freedoms according to the Constitution. And we're losing a lot of them under the present regime, and the way things are being conducted in this country.
All right, thank you, Senator. We're just out of time. So I guess in conclusion, the lady who was told to either remove the Christian cross necklace she was wearing or consider herself out of a job was violating some kind of a workplace, and this was a private company that did this. But yet nobody let go of the woman who was wearing the rainbow pin that said the LG, whatever that is.
Oh, yeah.
So she could wear her pin that said LG, her rainbow LG, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But the Christian woman couldn't wear her cross. It's kind of crazy. All right, we've got to end this. This is WOCA Ocala. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Nearly 2 weeks after he was freed from the Taliban, Sergeant Bo Bergdahl is back on American soil.
Bergdahl's now at the Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio. There are no pictures of his arrival, in part because of the controversial response to the deal made by the Obama administration for his release. Bergdahl was swapped for 5 high-profile Taliban prisoners who were being held at Guantanamo Bay. The Taliban in Afghanistan held Bergdahl for 5 years.
Fox's Marianne Rafferty. Militants in Iraq taking over more towns.
Iraqi militants moved into 2 towns in the eastern province of Diallo after security forces abandoned their posts. The special representative of the UN for Iraq says they're watching the situation unfold with great concern.
Fox Radio's Emily Wither. And the president making his first visit to Indian country since taking office, heading to Standing Rock Sioux Reservation, which straddles the border between North and South Dakota. Fox News, we report, you decide.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comments and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to Facebook.com/Fox News Radio.
Weeknights, we're busting out a brand new lineup. First, market fraud, government abuse, corruption. At 5, nothing's off limits on money with Melissa Francis. Then, from bloated bank fees to consumer scams. At 6, Jerry's exposing the issues impacting your wallet. Plus, get smart market insight and trusted analysis you won't find anywhere else. At 7, Lou Dobbs is all business. And the first and last name in business, Cavuto, shedding light on the biggest stories making headlines at 8. Only on the Fox Business Network.
Gene Powell pasture mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell pasture mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell pasture mowing.
This is the Salvation Army, and I'm Major George Patterson to let you know that the Salvation Army is available 24 hours a day to provide help to anyone. We also have a family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala. On Tuesday to Saturday from 9 to 4, you can do your shopping, or if you want to donate, you can call 352-732-4469, and we'll even pick up 352-732-4469. All funds generated by our store go into the programs here in Marion County to help the needy.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
All right, thank you. 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Nice looking Friday morning. Just feels good to say Friday. Don't forget Sunday, Father's Day. I don't think you probably would have forgotten that.
Nope.
Right now here at the Paddock Mall, it is 73 degrees and looks like a nice day. 30% chance of rain.
Yeah, wow.
It's not bad.
No,
right?
it's
Every day we
going
get a little
down.
bit, right?
Yep.
Galen Unold is on the phone from Lifestyle. He himself is the daddy.
Yes, he is.
And good morning, Galen. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Pretty good. Where are you right now?
I am in Ocala today, and I'll be leaving the house here in about 15 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
Well, I do have a baseball topic today for you.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what it is?
No, I didn't hear that.
It
I'm
is
excited.
old baseball nicknames, some of the older players, and I'm guessing. Maybe I should make this a game. I'll tell you the nickname, you tell me the player. All right.
All right. Let's see if I can do this.
And then we'll have kind of maybe you can educate us a little bit about baseball nicknames in general, because I do have a few questions about them. But
okay.
Baseball players have great nicknames, though.
Even still, to this day, we still have.
Yeah.
Them? Oh, good.
Sure. Yeah.
So that was my first question. Really, have we lost the tradition?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's a nickname usually is just a shortened word, but you got like A-Rod for Alex Rodriguez and things like that. So. Yeah, this will be fun.
Oh wow! So the type of nickname may have changed. The way nicknames came about, like Whitey Ford. Why was he called Whitey? Was he really white or something?
Yeah.
No, Whitey Ford. I think that was actually. I didn't know that wasn't his name. To be completely honest with you.
You thought his mother named him Whitey when he.
I don't know what Whitey's real name is. I've never heard him called anything other than Whitey Ford.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
You have a boy, Mrs. Ford. Holy cow, he's white.
Okay, we're going to go with that.
He's so white.
I mean, I really, what is his real name? I don't know.
Let me take a
You
look.
were saying what his real name was. I'm like, who?
Oh, gee.
I mean, he's a Hall of Fame pitcher. He pitched for the Yankees forever. I mean,
Whitey Ford's real name.
What is his real name?
Hold on.
What's his real name?
I'm looking it up. Whitey Ford's real name, Edward. Edward Charles Ford.
Okay.
No idea.
Why he was called Whitey? I don't know, but he is white.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I know. There's a bunch of those the players on that Yankees team from the, Murderers Row. He wasn't on Murderers Row, but he was right after that. He played with DiMaggio and everything else, and there were some great baseball teams that he played on. So
wow.
I think they also called him like the chairman. So,
They did?
Or
Okay.
something like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. right.
Whitey Ford's plaque to memorialize him is at Monument Park in Yankee Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be the old Yankee Stadium? Is it still there?
No, they moved it. They actually moved it to the monuments and put it in the same
Okay.
place in the new Yankee Stadium.
All right, so here we go. Now, some of these are really old, and boy, I'm not trying to throw you a curveball. Oh, that was a good use.
Yeah, that was good.
Baseball term right there.
Sure.
Oh, before I do this, let me ask you the state of the blood. How are we doing in the blood supply?
Plasma released up a little bit. We had a good day yesterday, but we need more AB donors. It's amazing that I'm saying that. We need more AB donors, and we need everybody to get out there and give. Our blood supply, we're starting to see that downward trickle. Didn't have as good a day yesterday as we wanted, but yeah, we're just slowly creeping down. So people need to get out there and give blood this weekend.
Do you always look for phlebotomists?
Yeah, it seems like we're always looking for them. Yeah, absolutely. We're not always hiring, but
I was thinking
we're always
about
on the
becoming
lookout
one.
for 'em.
I was thinking about applying.
Yeah. Could you do
There
that?
you go.
Could you actually do that? I don't think I could
I'm
do
teasing.
that.
I'm teasing.
Oh.
I just think everybody would be scared if they saw me coming with the needles. Jeez.
My veins are
Who's going to
retracting.
come? Oh, jeez.
That Larry guy, he's so gentle.
I would be gentle.
Yes.
I'd be good at it.
You would.
I'd be good at it. But I think
have
you're.
no doubt about that in my mind at all.
But I think they would have doubt. The people who came in, they'd be going, "Oh, jeez. Give me the pretty girl, please. Give me the pretty girl." All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Here's a couple of baseball nicknames. Biscuit Pants.
Biscuit Pants.
Who was Biscuit Pants? Do you know?
I have no idea. Is that old? Does that go way, way back?
Well, he died in 1939.
Oh gosh, yeah, that goes way back.
Okay, it's Lou Gehrig.
Really?
No, no.
Luke, yes, he was.
I never heard called Biscuit Pants.
Well, I never did
He
either.
was the Iron Man. I mean, he was called the Iron Man. Or the Iron Horse, I'm sorry. Iron Horse. I never heard him called Biscuit Pants.
All right, nice.
And
Maybe
of course, that's why we called Ronald Reagan.
Who was Biscuit
Iron
Pants?
Horse.
I just typed in who was Biscuit Pants. Lou Gehrig came right up.
Wow, I didn't know that one. I've always called him the Iron Horse.
That's probably why he changed it. Biscuit Pants, Iron Horse.
And you know what was great about Lou Gehrig, right? I mean, he had the most consecutive games played streak until Cal Ripken, of course, and then he actually died of a muscular dystrophy, and thus the Lou Gehrig's disease. So, great man.
Wow.
And of course, he had maybe one of the famous speeches of all time, which is, "I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth." I mean, it's if you ever get to watch a speech, that here's a guy who was at the peak of physical fitness, one of the greatest baseball players of his generation, if not the greatest. And now he's got this disease where he can't control his muscles.
Right.
And he still considers himself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Just a great man.
Yeah.
So.
Among his other nicknames, the Hard Number.
I haven't heard that one.
His fellow American League players called him the Hard Number. So Biscuit Pants and the Hard Number.
And Iron Horse isn't on there?
Iron Horse is on here, yes.
Okay, because I've never heard of anything else.
It says
All right.
fans and historians often call him the Iron Horse. Biographer Frank Graham called him the Quiet Hero. Biscuit Pants is what he was called by the other players because of his baggy pants over thick
That makes
legs.
sense.
He had thick legs.
Yeah.
And a broad back porch, it said.
Oh.
A broad back porch.
Secretarial
Hey,
spread.
the
That's
key
probably
to-
what it was.
That's the key to hitting is a strong base.
They also called him the Crown Prince, which would have put him under Babe Ruth's title of being the king.
Yeah, I have heard him called the Crown Prince.
Wow.
All right.
He was also called
All
the
right.
Little Heine by residents of the Phi Delta Theta fraternity house
All right.
at Columbia University.
He had a bunch then.
Yeah, he had a bunch. All right. All right. So the next one I have for you is, this is a weird nickname, and this goes way back to the 1800s. Death.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Death to Flying Things.
So you're not going to bring me anything into this century, Lou?
Well, hold on. Let me just get through these. Death to Flying Things, since it's so far back, it's not fair to ask you to figure it out. It was Bob Ferguson. Do you even know?
I call him Billy.
Do you? All right. This one,
I know Ferguson Jenkins, but I don't know who that other guy is. Bob Ferguson.
His full name was Robert Vavasauer. Robert Vavasauer Ferguson. So
He's probably in the Hall of Fame.
Death
I
to
don't know.
Flying Things.
He must have made the ball explode.
His career batting average was .265. Yeah.
He probably hit a bird one day or something.
Probably, yeah. Death to the Flying Thing, yeah.
All right.
The next one was the Little Steam Engine. Do you know that one?
No, I haven't heard of that
All
one.
right, that was Pud Galvin. Pud, by the way, was also a nickname. His mother did name him Pud.
Oh, okay.
His real name was James.
His nickname had a nickname. That's how big he was.
Yeah.
How about Three Finger Brown? Have you ever heard of Three Finger Brown?
Yeah, he was a pitcher for the St. Louis Browns, I believe. Right?
Oh.
So this was old. I remember. I keep going.
Well, he died in
Could be
19.
wrong.
I don't know. I'm looking for the team he played for. He was Mordecai Brown is his real name. Mordecai.
Yeah, I would have changed that too. I do believe he pitched for the St. Louis Browns.
Okay.
Not the St. Louis Cardinals, but the St. Louis Browns.
Okay.
Was it the
And they were
same
on the-
team? Did the Brown?
No.
Oh, the Browns didn't morph into the Cardinals then.
No.
They just disappeared.
I think they changed teams, but I cannot remember who they became.
Oh.
So.
All right. Let's see. Another one. Gentleman George. Do you know who that was? Gentleman George.
Now, I believe that's one of Babe Ruth's nicknames, but that's not what he's known by famously.
It was George Decker. George Decker.
George Decker. I don't know who George Decker is.
Okay. All right. Maybe I should bring it more modern. How about?
I'm not really good at turn of the century baseball.
All right. I'll bring it more current. High
The
Pockets.
modern era.
High Pockets Kelly. Do you know who High Pockets Kelly is?
No, never heard of him.
That's George.
Is this century?
Yes.
No, I mean,
Well,
century?
1900s, 1932 he died.
Okay.
Wait, 1915 to 1930s. That must be when he played.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That is when he played.
How about the piano movie?
Who was that? What was his name? George what?
George Kelly.
Oh, okay.
The Piano Mover. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
That's Frank Smith.
Piano Mover.
All right, let me get some more here for
What
you.
is that? The 20s?
We've lost a lot of great.
Here's one from.
knowledge of
Here's
great
one from.
baseball players.
Here's one. Captain Hook Anderson.
Had to be a pitcher with a great curveball.
Captain Hook Anderson played for the Cincinnati Reds. Sparky Anderson is his name. Sparky probably is a nickname too.
Sparky?
I've heard of Sparky.
He's a manager.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, Sparky Anderson is a manager. I mean, his real name is Sparky.
Okay.
Really?
He was born that way?
Yeah. His real name is actually Sparky.
I wonder what happened.
Ooh, this is Sparky.
So he's a Hall of Fame manager. I mean,
Okay, I didn't know that.
he was it was great.
Well,
about
you know what?
Sparky is
You
one,
know what this
he
is?
smoked in the dugout, right? So he smoked in the dugout, but which is unheard of now. But he was a manager of the Big Red Machine.
All right, how about Baby Bull? This guy also was called Cha Cha. Baby Bull and Cha Cha.
Oh, I know who this is.
This is more modern. 1970s.
This is he was also for the Big Red. He was he played there at the same time.
He played for the San Francisco
Cepeda.
Giants.
Cepeda.
Yeah. Orlando
Cepeda.
Yes,
Orlando Cepeda. Thank you. Big time arm. Oh my gosh, guy had a cannon. Yeah.
Really?
All right.
You know what that means, Robin?
No.
He was an outfielder, and he could hurl the pearl, as they say. He could throw the ball really hard.
See, he didn't ask me.
Oh, wow. And accurate, too, then, right? If he could throw it like that.
Yeah. People were scared of him. Yeah.
I bet they
Well,
burned
you
the
didn't
glove.
run on him. You know what I mean? You just didn't run on that guy.
It hurt you.
All right, and this is the guy from my youth. I remember this name. I don't remember the nickname. Big D. I remember his name, but I don't remember the nickname.
Big D.
Big D from the 60s.
No.
Late 50s and 60s. He played for the Los Angeles Dodgers, who was Don Drysdale. I remember that name.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it was just Drysdale because he was so great.
Okay.
So, all right, makes sense. Big D.
Here's one from the World War II era. They called him Double X.
Oh, that's Fox. Jimmy Fox.
Jimmy Fox from your team, the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, he was also, of course, called the Beast. But Double X is what stuck. So, the Jimmy Fox.
And we have
If you're going to have a good debate with a Red Sox fan, right, who knows what they're talking about,
right,
and you just, I've got like great bar conversations because I think for my sports talk days. But so you just start the conversation, you go, oh, you're a Red Sox fan. Oh, yeah. Who's the greatest Red Sox player in baseball in Red Sox history? If they don't mention Jimmy Fox, they're not a baseball fan.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right, so he's a biggie, of course.
Is he still alive?
No. No.
Oh.
Okay.
I think he's been gone for quite some time.
And-
He'd be like, what, 100?
Oh.
And 10? I mean, he played in the
I don't know.
30s. He played through World War One, into World War One through World War II, I believe. So.
Wow.
And you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, good morning. The St. Louis Browns became the Baltimore Orioles.
There you go. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a good day.
excellent.
You have to have somebody other
So I
than
didn't
me.
like the St. Louis Browns either.
All right. Do you know this one from the Brooklyn Dodgers? Old Stubblebeard.
Stubblebeard.
Old Stubblebeard, who goes back to the
I
early
knew all
part
the-
of the 20th century.
Yeah, I thought I knew all the Brooklyn Dodgers who had good nicknames. No, I do not.
Burley Grimes is his name. Burley
Burley
Grimes.
Grimes.
Yeah. Here's one from that. Here's one. Oh, very recent. From the San Diego Padres, Captain Video.
Oh, that's Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn. Yeah. Why do they call him that?
Now,
Yeah.
Well, because he was the first Major League Baseball player to actually put watching video of a pitcher as part of his repertoire before hitting.
Oh,
So
okay.
he would study the pitcher's video. Now, of course, you probably know him as Mr. Padre, but yeah, probably the greatest hitter that I ever personally saw. So just he could do anything with the ball. He's amazing, and to hear him talk about hitting is a treat. So just a really good guy too, as humble as it comes.
Is he still playing?
No, he's now a manager for the in I think it's Arizona State. He's a baseball manager for the Arizona State University.
Oh,
But I
good
think
for him.
I think the older nicknames are cooler. We should have cooler nicknames.
Yeah, biscuit
know. I mean,
pants.
Just biscuit
Okay,
pan.
there are some that are really, really good, but it takes time for an age to get 'em to make them great. So
All right. The next one sounds like a centerfold from Playgirl magazine, Mr. October.
well, of course, that's the greatest post before Poppy. That's Reggie Jackson.
Reggie
Again,
Jackson is right, yeah.
And of course, George Steinbrenner, Ocala's own George Steinbrenner, gave him that nickname.
Really? Really?
Because well, he had 5 home runs in one World Series and 3 in one game. Yeah, he is anti-humble. He's a lot more humble now than when he played, but he was a cocky player. And as a Red Sox fan, I love to hate him. But I wish he was
Love to
on
hate
my
him.
team.
That's funny.
I wish he was on my team.
Let's go to the phone again. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Larry, Rob, and Galen. How is everybody?
Hey, Jim. Good.
Hey, I cheated. I Googled three-fingered Mordecai Brown
Mm-hmm.
to look for the St. Louis Browns. I did not come across St. Louis Browns, but he played for the 1907 Cubs.
Oh, there you go. My bad.
And the reason they called him the miner was because he was a coal miner at first.
Oh, there you go. That makes sense.
So he was a Cub.
He was born with a hand deformity.
Oh, okay.
And then one of the fingers, and then his middle finger on that same hand was frozen in an odd position. But it was good. It was a position where he could really get a hold of the ball well. So that's how he ended up playing baseball.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Jim. Here's another one. The Commerce Comet. Do you know who he was?
Commerce Comet.
It's another player from my days as a kid. I remember this baseball card very well.
No, I don't.
Mickey Mantle. The Commerce
Really?
Comet.
He was the Mick. I mean, some people called him the Kid. I mean, I know why. It makes sense that they would call him the Commerce Comet because he sold everything.
Was he a nice guy? I heard rumors that sometimes they weren't nice.
When he got older, he became a really good guy. I mean, he battled alcoholism most of his life. I got to meet him late in life. Probably 3 or 4 years before he died.
Was he nice to
I
you?
don't know. Yeah, he was really. I mean, I interviewed him. He was a really nice guy. So, I mean, he was always the Mick. He'll always be the Mick or number 7, made infamous by Jerry Seinfeld. Remember, because George is like the best name you could ever name a kid was 7.
Oh, okay.
Remember that
Yeah.
episode?
Oh.
And then somebody else named their child 7.
No, I don't remember that, I guess.
Arguably the greatest Yankee to ever play. And that that tells you a lot right there when you're talking about Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and Yogi Berra. So, arguably the greatest Yankee to ever play.
Do you have any of your audio from your interviews?
I don't. A lot of it from Jacksonville. I just, I'm sure it's recorded somewhere. I just never kept it. I don't know why. I thought I'd be there forever. So.
How about this one? This is another one from the New York Yankees. The night of Kennett Square. The night of Kennett Square. Yeah.
That's intriguing.
That's too long.
It is too long.
That's some radio guy or some newspaper guy who needed to.
He's the night of Kennett Square.
I need 20 more words.
And it was.
No idea.
It was
Kennett Square.
Yeah, Herb Pennock is the answer there.
Herb Pennock. Okay.
Okay, that was early 1900s.
Yeah.
The Colossus of Clout was a lesser-known nickname of this very famous baseball player.
Yeah, Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. Okay, you got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got Babe Ruth is the Sultan of SWAT, and George Herman Ruth is his real name, but his best nickname is Babe.
Wow, and this goes back to 1996, and a few years earlier, The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that of course is Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie Smith, yeah.
Played for the St. Louis Cardinals. Best defensive shortstop of all time. So.
And we have a phone call. Good morning, you're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, baseball fans. Hey, a quick story about Reggie Jackson. When the Milwaukee Brewers were in the American League, whenever the Yankees would come to town up to Milwaukee County Stadium, boy, they hated the Yankees and they hated Reggie Jackson. And I remember going one of the games up there, and Reggie Jackson was promoting a side business of candy bars. So everybody that went through the gate got a candy bar to take into the ballpark. Well, when he came up to bat the first time, all of a sudden there was a ton of candy bars being tossed at him.
Oh, no.
Half an hour to rake them up.
Oh, no.
And he had the best line after that incident. He said, "All right, good. Now they just have to go buy more."
Exactly.
It was something like that. I can't remember exactly, but that was his reaction. Yeah, go buy more.
Yeah. See, Galen, how about Pete Rose, the hustler?
I know him better as the cheater. I'm not a huge Pete Rose fan because I think he did a lot of bad for baseball, and I don't believe he'll ever be in the Hall of Fame. I know he's finally admitted that he gambled on his team to win, and he's possibly talking about how he's now bet on them even to lose. And I know he did as a player as well, and I'm sorry, that's just wrong, and he should never be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's a tragedy because there's a man that gave 101% every time he went out at a baseball diamond. But like you say, I doubt if he'll ever get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I doubt that. And people talk about how he gave 100%. I'm not sure he always did because I know he bet on baseball, and I know he bet on his team. And so there could have been a situation where, and again, I've never studied every game he played, but there could have been a chance where he could have scored another run, or done something, and instead he may have hit a weak ground ball to first base or something like that. So everything he's done to me is tainted. So.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Hugh. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And so we had this fantasy team. It was called the Life South Donors. We thought that'd be a cool name for the baseball game.
There you go.
Baseball team.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And if you're one of the players, your nickname we came up with on Robin and I, it's called Soapfish Galen. We call him Soapfish.
Thank you.
Soapfish.
You're fascinated by the soapfish.
Yeah. Very sad. Very fascinated by it. Yes.
Cool
Of
name.
all the things I've ever said, that's one of those that's carried over the whole week now. That's pretty good.
I know. That's a good one.
Soapfish Galen.
Our softball team back in the day was actually called the Bows.
Oh, really?
The Bows.
Yeah, Bo.
You-
Bo the Bloodhound.
Oh, the Bloodhound.
Oh,
The
okay.
Bloodhound.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were Bo, the Bloodhound.
Well, we put his picture on Facebook for World Donation Day today, so Blood Donation Day today.
All right, Robin, we need a segue from baseball players' nicknames to donating blood.
Well, all the nicknames anybody can come up with, it is because that everybody is so loved that they get a nickname. And that's what Life South Community Blood Centers is. They have a cute mascot, Bo. That must be his nickname. And every time you see Bo, go out and donate blood because you know that
Don't see him that
someone's
often.
life is going to be saved.
Need to get Bo out there more often. All right, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Bloodmobile today, Larry, is at Scoops Ice Cream, and then we're also that's later tonight, this evening, and then we're also at Lowe's out on Silver Springs Boulevard.
Scoops Ice Cream is right just east of 484 of the Super Walmart and the Big Lot Shopping Center.
There you go.
By 103rd
That's right,
Street
out on
Road.
200.
And if you can't get there, go next to the Cascades on Silver Springs Boulevard. That's where Life South is. Or in Denali, where would you go, Robin?
Right next door to Winn-Dixie.
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 All right. Well, another one of your nicknames is Daddy. So have a great Father's Day, Galen, and good weekend.
You as well.
And we'll talk to you on Monday.
Sounds great. Thank you guys for everything.
All right.
Bye, all.
All right, we'll take a little break, and Fox News coming up, and then we'll do News Bites.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Nearly 2 weeks after he was freed from the Taliban, Sergeant Bo Bergdahl is back on American soil.
Bergdahl's now at the Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio. There are no pictures of his arrival, in part because of the controversial response to the deal made by the Obama administration for his release. Bergdahl was swapped for 5 high-profile Taliban prisoners who were being held at Guantanamo Bay. The Taliban in Afghanistan held Bergdahl for 5 years.
Fox's Marianne Rafferty. Militants in Iraq taking over more towns.
Iraqi militants moved into 2 towns in the eastern province of Diallo after security forces abandoned their posts. The special representative of the UN for Iraq says they're watching the situation unfold with great concern.
Fox Radio's Emily Wither. And the president making his first visit to Indian country since taking office, heading to Standing Rock Sioux Reservation, which straddles the border between North and South Dakota. Fox News, we report, you decide.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comments and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to Facebook.com/Fox News Radio.
Weeknights, we're busting out a brand new lineup. First, market fraud, government abuse, corruption. At 5, nothing's off limits on money with Melissa Francis. Then, from bloated bank fees to consumer scams. At 6, Jerry's exposing the issues impacting your wallet. Plus, get smart market insight and trusted analysis you won't find anywhere else. At 7, Lou Dobbs is all business. And the first and last name in business, Cavuto, shedding light on the biggest stories making headlines at 8. Only on the Fox Business Network.
Yeehaw! Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to DQ. Dairy Queen is serving the crispiest, juiciest, most tasty chicken tenders, all beef chili dogs, and quarter-pound cheeseburgers on earth. And you get crispy fries, a drink, and an ice cream sundae of your choice for only $5. Remember, at DQ, you can lick their cones, but you can't beat their shakes. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
WOCA is proud to be part of the first annual Hispanic West Indian American Food and Music Festival Community Outreach. Authentic ethnic food and music. June 14, 12 to 5 p.m. 125 Marion Oaks Trail, Marion Oaks. Salsa, Merengue Orchestra, West Indian Music, Islands Music DJ. For more information or to be a vendor, call 201-356-7156. That's 201-356-7156. June 14, 12 to 5 p.m. 125 Marion Oaks Trail, Marion Oaks. Help support community awareness needs.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory Rate change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Okay.